The following program contains coarse language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Anybody who's watched my channel for any significant amount of time knows that there has been at least one thing that I've talked about consistently, and that is Mom's Boyfriend. There actually used to be a site called momsboyfriend.com. I don't know if y'all remember that when it used to exist, but I have been speaking about this and preaching about this and coaching about this and begging about this for far too long, pretty much since my entire existence on YouTube. But is anybody listening? I don't know. These stories are not going viral. People aren't sharing these things. I guess it doesn't matter until it happens to you, until it's your situation. Then all of a sudden it matters. Then we're putting up GoFundMes. But I digress. Let me give you guys the fair usage real quick, or a warning about my content. Hit them with it, mommy of three. Let's go.
Some viewers may find the following content offensive and controversial. The information in this video comes from multiple sources, including court records, official police charges, new website articles, and interviews. This video commentary also contains my personal opinions about the facts of this story. The point is to use this story as a cautionary tale in hopes of preventing tragedies like these to children going forward. Viewer discretion is advised. That is your official disclaimer.
And I'm going to be using two news sources, one which is people.com, thank you people, and one is yahoo.com, so thank you to them. And I'm going to tell y'all, it was a task, and I actually spent the most amount of time on this story while I was putting these together because I could not find a picture of the perpetrator, the alleged person who is going to be held accountable, or at least being accused of doing this crime. Okay? We talk about thug lions. Thank you. That applies to men. Hashtag take the testicles. TTT. That's clearly for men. What's the other ones I have? Not another mom's boyfriend story. I have a lot of hashtags that only apply to men. But people will ignore that. Like I don't hold folks accountable. So I want y'all to check this out. A 1-year-old girl died in the hospital after a week on life support as a result of an alleged beating at the hands of mom's boyfriend. How many of you guys are surprised that these thugs continue to act like thugs, which is by way of their actions, not their skin color, that these thug lions, that y'all go to the thug zoo and bring them into your household and you're surprised? You're surprised when they murder and maul your kids? When they murder and maul you, we're surprised? I'm not surprised. Been doing these stories for I don't know how many years now. What, 7 years, maybe more? The New York City Police Department was called to an apartment in the Melrose neighborhood of Bronx, New York on August the 28th at 9:30 a.m. So this was not even a couple of weeks ago, by a person by the name of Lanisha Mitchell, who was this baby's mother. Let me see if I can get her back up here. That's mom on the right-hand side. That's Lanisha Mitchell, the girl's mother. The New York Times reported her daughter, 1-year-old Imani Mitchell, and her full name is Imani-Dior Monique Mitchell. It's a long name, but I like her name. Y'all know I get on to names because I hate for our community to name our kids stuff that don't mean anything, but I like her name, Imani-Dior Monique. What's her last name here? Mitchell. Was swollen and heavily bruised, according to the outlet. The next day, on August the 29th, the NYPD arrested a fool by the name of Jerome Thomas, who's 19 years old, and I had the most difficult time trying to find his picture. This is him. I need to put this on the big screen because I'm just wondering what you guys think. Y'all think this is attractive? Do y'all think this is what you want to lay up under every night, every freaking day, and every freaking night? This is what you sacrificed your child for. This is what you wanted to lay up under. This is what you wanted to have a life with. This is who you chose to be in a relationship with. And I'm just sorry, based on the story and then based on this picture, I just think it makes it look crazy, the fact that this is who you chose to be with. Okay? So I wanted to put that into proper perspective. Hashtag when you date thugs, you date death. Thank you. Very well said in the chat. I see you. He is 19 years old. Here's another thing, and y'all can tell them that I've said this. What's another thing that I say about men and what age they need to be fathers? Can anybody tell me before I say it? Maybe y'all could type it in there in the chat. What is my theory? Simply a theory. It doesn't make it a fact, and it doesn't apply. Hashtag not all, not all, not all. What age do I say that men should not be fathers under? Anybody know? Anybody remember? Okay, I'll give it to you. I have been saying for a long time that I personally believe that men should not be fathers under the age of 30 years old. 30 years or older is correct. For financial reasons, for emotional reasons, for stability reasons. There is no reason that a man, in general, not all, should be a father under the age of 30 years old. I believe that too many men under the age of 30 years old suck as fathers. They suck as fathers. They suck as men. They're trying to figure it out. They need to mature. They need to sow their wild oats or whatever it is that they need to do. And a lot of you women have dealt with these men under the age of 30 years old. And y'all know they're usually a bunch of effing clowns. They usually don't get serious until after that age. That is in general. It doesn't apply all. You might have found you a good one, but understand that we're talking about the majority and not the anomaly. Let me say that again. We're talking about the majority, not the anomaly, not the one that you found, not the one that your cousin found, not the one that your cousin, sister, best friend, auntie found. Yes? The way that we're going about doing this, and it doesn't guarantee that if you get a man after 30 that he's going to be mature, faithful, responsible, have a job. It doesn't mean any of that. Because I know some men that are 50 years old and ain't got no goddamn job. And irresponsible as hell and childish. Yes? A lot of guys out there like that. I've heard a lot of women tell stories about they had men and I thought he was going to be mature. I got with me a 50 or 60-year-old man and I thought he was going to be mature. I thought he was going to be ready to be a father. There's some YouTubers out there that have dealt with that. They got with an older person and then they came back to smack him in the face because the person that they picked just was a childish MFer. You just picked the wrong one. But nonetheless, I've been saying that for a while. Statistically, men usually do better over the age of 30 years old, over 35 years old when it comes to finances. They usually find their financial stride between the age of 35 and 45 years old. But I personally think that they tend to do better and be more ready to be fathers after the age of 30 years old. Okay, now, let's keep going. He's 19 years old. There's no way a 19-year-old needs to be playing house, playing daddy. And they charged him with assault, reckless endangerment, and endangering the welfare of a child per court records, according to the news. They also report that Thomas is Mitchell's boyfriend. Let me say that again because that's very, very specific. And thank you guys. Shout out to Garden Goddess and Shannon for joining us on the channel membership. Much, much love. Thank you. They reported that Thomas is Mitchell's boyfriend. They did not say anything about him being the father to this child. Therefore, this will make this mom's boyfriend. Therefore, they would make this little baby a victim of a man that mom wanted to be in a relationship with. And this man sees that little girl as a product of the man that she was last with. When he looks at that baby, he looks at the last man that just got done sleeping with this woman. And if you know anything about Thug Lions, because y'all are attracted to them, then you would have to know that they are very protective and they don't want you around any other man. Therefore, why would they like the product that you have from another man in their face every single day? I just don't think that they rationally know how to compute that. I just think they malfunction. I think they short circuit. Ladies, okay? Right? The Bronx District Attorney's Office is planning to pursue homicide charges, according to the Times. Now, Michelle had left her daughter, and how many times have y'all heard this? Mama had to go run some goddamn errands. Michelle left her daughter in Thomas's care for 45 minutes. And that is alleged. That is alleged. They always try to make it seem, I just left my baby for 5 minutes and he killed my baby. Who knows if that's true or not? Baby might have been there for some hours. Baby might have been there for some days. Who knows? But she's claiming 45 minutes, according to a criminal complaint cited by the Times. Imani was subsequently admitted to the Neurological Intensive Care Unit, NICU, at New York Presbyterian Columbia University Medical Center. That is a tongue twister. How did I get that out without messing up? I don't know. She was placed on a ventilator, and doctors surgically removed a piece of her skull just to relieve the pressure. Hospital staff confirmed that her injuries were consistent with forceful, direct impact to the right side of her head. Blunt force trauma. She was probably punched by this goddamn fool. Thomas, who's 19 years old, pleaded not guilty to the charges and is currently being held in Rikers Island. He will appear in court on Friday, September the 13th, which is 3 days from today, if today is September the 10th. A GoFundMe page was launched. I don't know if yes, I do. I have the GoFundMe. Right, it's actually right there on the page, or right there on the screen. They're asking for $6,500. This GoFundMe just went up, so it's not that old. So hopefully they can collect what they're looking for. And I want you guys to remember, I am not against GoFundMe. I am just pro life insurance. I am not against GoFundMe. I'm just pro life insurance. If you want to donate, that is how you find it. Find that page. You will find her GoFundMe. Imani suffered severe injuries at the hands of someone her mom trusted, which is a stupid statement. Mom should have never trusted her boyfriend, who's not a babysitter. She should have never trusted a man who's 19 years old, who's not a man, in my opinion. He has no experience. He's immature. He's not ready. And on top of that, here's what I found funny, and I've been saying this for a long time. We will castigate your baby's father, the kid that the man that you made this kid by, the man that you received this seed by. You will talk about him. He ain't nothing. Y'all don't get along. But you refuse to let him be the babysitter. You refuse to give him custody. You will let anybody and everybody watch your child except the man that created that child, which I think in our society is a very weird dynamic. We do that a lot. Anybody can watch the child except the dad, but anybody else that watches the child presents a danger to that child. Hence, mom's boyfriend. The Administration for Children's Services told the news it is working with NYPD in investigating Imani's death. They've reached out for comment from the NYPD. They haven't heard back yet. If you suspect child abuse, call the National Child Abuse Hotline, which I don't know how many people do that. 800-4-CHILD, 800-422-4453. Childhelp.org, available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in 170 languages. Utilize it. Tell on somebody. All right? Snitch on them. Let's get it.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
You guys would, if you're watching this video, make this go viral. I always know I ask you guys to do that. You can share it in some of your favorite true crime groups, and maybe we can bring some people in to see these videos. Leave a comment, hit that thumbs up. Always to help share this. Until we can get unshadow banned, we're going to have to just get it out the mud, all right? Let's share the story. Let's get it. Here we go.
A 1-year-old baby girl is After police say she was punched multiple times in the head. Now a 19-year-old man is charged with assault and endangerment. News 12's Tim Harfman is in the alert center now with what we know so far. Tim.
Well, Nadia, we went to the Melrose apartment today to talk to the child's family, but greeted with this note on the door saying that the tenant, quote, took weeks away for a while, so I will not be home. And this comes while investigators were on scene this afternoon carrying evidence bags from the apartment building. Now, police say officers responded to Union Avenue for a 911 call Thursday night and found a one-year-old baby girl who was punched repeatedly in the face and head. The child was taken to Harlem Hospital in critical but stable condition. Police arrested and charged 19-year-old Jerome Thomas with 2 counts of assault and endangering the welfare of a child. Right now, it's unclear what the relationship is between Thomas and the infant. Neighbors tell us they constantly hear a man and woman fighting inside of the apartment.
I saw the commotion on Thursday, but I didn't know the details, until today when I saw the cops and everyone. That's sad. I mean, it's a 1-year-old innocent baby.
I have kids, so it's like, it sucks. There's no sounds of like altercation, violence, or anything coming from under that night. And I was here and I was awake.
Now, right now, we do not have information about the child's mother. We are working to learn more details. Stay with us for the very latest. In the Alert Center, Tim Harfman, News 12 The Bronx.
A little 1-year-old girl is dead this afternoon. The victim, we're told, of a brutal beating inside her own home, allegedly at the hands of someone close to her.
Yeah, Pix 11's Jay Dow spent the day in the little girl's neighborhood gathering some details, and he joins us live from the South Bronx. Jay.
Ernie and Candace, jaws just dropping as we speak with people who are familiar with this couple and just hearing about this news, this little girl dead after being punched in the face multiple times.
I just hear them arguing.
We heard a racket like somebody was arguing.
2 different neighbors telling Pix 11 News Monday they heard the same argument between the family living in apartment 2C of this 4-story walk-up in the South Bronx. In a criminal complaint, prosecutors say on August 28th, 19-year-old Jerome Thomas physically assaulted his girlfriend's 1-year-old daughter, Imani Mitchell. We are now learning little Imani died Friday from her brain injury, a case now being prosecuted as a homicide.
Oh. That's a beautiful little girl. Very full of joy and full of happiness.
Prosecutors say after leaving the baby with Thomas for only 45 minutes, her mother returned to the apartment and found something terribly wrong. After calling 911, responding EMTs and police officers say, quote, a child was observed with bruising and swelling to her face and head, especially in the area of her left eye, where there was also an abrasion. According to the criminal complaint, Thomas then admitted to police, quote, during that time, he struck the child twice on the side of the head with a heavy hand, causing her to cry.
I'm in disbelief. I actually seen the police carry the child out. The child just looked like the child was sleeping.
Thomas is already facing multiple criminal charges. The Bronx DA's office pushing to add a homicide charge against Thomas. It's with the grand jury. Thomas is due back in court on Friday. I wanted to know if there was any kind of involvement with the family, with the agency, ACS, the Administration for Children and Services that oversees child welfare. And we received a response from ACS that reads, quote, the safety and well-being of New York City's children is our top priority. We are investigating this tragedy with the NYPD. We will keep following up on this tragic case. We're live in the South Bronx this afternoon. Jay Dow, Pix 11 News.
Breaking new developments and a tragic story we've been covering here on 12. News 12's Brittany Cadet is at the 40th precinct this morning. We've learned the 1-year-old baby who was punched several times in the face and head has died. Brittany, what's the latest?
Yeah, Marissa, I mean, it's just a never-ending nightmare for that Bronx mother. You know, it's a nightmare that never really ended. Police say now that that 1-year-old girl died from her injuries just on Friday. And
here's what I don't understand is if it's that much of a nightmare, Why do y'all continue to keep watching these videos, knowing this thing is happening, and y'all continue to keep doing it? Y'all in general, not all. But why do they know that this is a possibility, and you still keep letting these fools babysit your precious kids that you do anything for except for give them a proper caretaker? It's just weird to me.
Police say she was found unconscious in her Mott Haven apartment just a few weeks ago. Now, police say that she was punched in the face multiple times, and 19-year-old Jerome Thomas was arrested the day after Imani was rushed to the hospital. He lived at the same address and was initially charged with the assault and endangering the welfare of a child. It's also unclear what his relationship was to the baby. And when this initially happened, neighbors say they constantly hear a man and a woman fighting inside of the apartment. And when this initially happened, neighbors say they constantly hear a man and a woman fighting inside. And when this initially happened, neighbors say they constantly hear a man and a woman fighting. And when this initially happened, neighbors say they constantly hear a man and a woman fighting.
Constantly hear them fighting. Constantly had opportunities to get out of this situation. Constantly should have left and did not. Bad choice.
Inside of the apartment. And at this hour, we are waiting to see if the charges against Thomas will be upgraded now that police say they are investigating this case as a homicide. So stick with us right here on News 12 as we continue to learn the latest. For now, we're live here at the 40th Precinct. I'm Brittany Cadet. Marissa.
Thank you, Brittany. Again, beautiful little kid that lost their life because we don't put the value. It's like almost like we do a lot of lip service. It's like we behave a lot of the same way when it comes to politics. That's how I know this was the mom's page. I don't know how I found this or how I ever would have found it, but I did find out and confirm that is the mom's page right there, which is how I found this damn stupid ass picture right here. Is the firing squad still open? Actually, yes, it is. Believe it or not, there was actually somebody recently that was executed by way of a firing squad recently within the past month. So yes, that's a real thing. Castration is a real thing. So just keep that in mind. It's definitely not a myth. But to have this much evidence in front of you and you continue to keep making these type of decisions, it just lets me know that we do a lot of lip service like the politicians do. We do a lot of talking and not enough showing it in our actions. And I just really wish that this baby, let me get this baby's face back up on the screen for you guys. This is Imani-Dior, Imani-Dior Monique Mitchell. Get her face back up here. Just by herself. Hey, just look at this. Thug loving, thug loving, thug loving. Babysitter. Baby's first birthday. Look at that. If it mattered, why don't we prioritize them? So to Imani-Dior Monique, last name Mitchell, young princess, R.I.P. Thank you guys so much for listening with an open mind as well as an open heart. And from my heart to yours, I love you guys. AFC, thank you. Make these stories go viral and share them. That would help us out quite a bit, okay? Thank you.